My game won the first round of a multi-round game jam. In this video I'll go over the results, the feedback I received and my plans for improving the game. For those who don't know GDKO, it stands for Game Dev Knockout, a yearly multi-round game jam where developers compete to create the best games under tight deadlines. It's a lot of fun and you can already sign up for next year's tournament. I'll leave a link to the itch.io page in the description. This year, 210 participants entered the first round. I played a bunch of the games during the voting period and I have to say the quality of the games was really impressive. So yeah, that makes me even prouder that Shift Shape took first place. Huge thanks to everyone who played and voted for the game. Besides the voting results, I'm also really happy with how the game performed in general. This is now my most played game on itch.io. Over 1,000 people played the game at the time of making this video. Seeing so many people play my game is extremely motivating, and it makes me want to continue working on this game even more. One of the best parts of a game jam is getting immediate, brutally honest feedback, which is invaluable for improving your game. Looking at the voting breakdown, the game performed well in mechanics and design, but fell short in one key area. Was there a sense of progression? I completely agree with this. I did not even add a proper ending screen after collecting all the coins, so there was definitely room for improvement. From the players' comments, 3 main points stood out. The first point was about the music. The music I added was a last-minute decision, and probably not the best decision. Next time I'll choose something that better fits the game. The second point was about the jump mechanic. Many players found the jump misleading or completely useless. I actually made the jump weak on purpose, because I thought it was funny. But since it confused players, I likely just remove it. The third point was about movement frustration. This was by far the biggest complaint. The pixel perfect alignment requirement made transforming frustrating. A lot of players suggested adding grid-based movement, which makes a lot of sense. I am very happy with this constructive feedback and I can definitely do something with this. Since we are already on the topic of feedback, after publishing my last video I got some feedback from my friends about the audio quality. So I upgraded from my built-in laptop microphone. Hopefully this sounds much better now. Besides all the comments around feedback, one reply stood out to me. One player actually figured out how to return to the start after completing the game, something I didn't even plan for. I think it's very fascinating to see what players do with your game. After playing other submissions and reflecting on the feedback, I was really motivated to improve Shift Shape. So, this is me. For some context, I originally made the game in GameMaker. GameMaker is the first engine I used in my life. It is great for quick prototyping, but as I work on games for longer periods of time, I've realized GameMaker holds me back. While it's fantastic for 2D, it lacks certain features and scalability for bigger projects. So, I've decided to switch to Unity. It offers more flexibility, a better ecosystem and overall better long-term potential. Since I'm moving to Unity, I also should make some other major workflow improvements. Therefore, I now use GitHub to version my projects. I even set up GitHub Actions to automatically build my game whenever I push a commit, which is really great. I also switched to JetBrains Rider for C# programming. This is an easy switch since I already use IntelliJ at work. This makes me a lot more productive, since IntelliJ and Rider have a lot of similarities. Rebuilding Shift Shape took some time, but pretty quickly I had the basic mechanics working. I even got the game running on my phone, which was pretty cool. I also made the movement grid based. Though, I experimented a bit with the controls to make sure it still felt really smooth. After a lot more tweaking, I fully re-implemented the game, but with some changes. Some puzzles had to be removed because they relied on the old dynamic movement system. The game is now purely logic based, focusing on precise transformations rather than movement tricks. For example, the puzzle where you had to move and transform at the same time doesn't work anymore. And I put effort into making the grid movement feel fluid, so it doesn't feel too rigid. Overall, I think these changes make the game much smoother, and moving forward, Unity will make it much easier for me to expand the game in the next rounds. As I continued working on the game, I also brainstormed new mechanics, new shapes and new areas. I'm keeping track of these in my notebook. Instead of making changes just for the next round, I want to stick to a clear vision. So by the end of the jam, I will have a complete, polished game that stands on its own. I'll be uploading a devlog soon for the game I made for round 2 of GDKO. Thanks for watching.